Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you a step-by-step video tutorial on how I made this beautiful shift dress from start to finish. All you have to do is watch this video till the end, subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share with your friends. Okay, so guys, let's get started. Here on my pattern paper, I've gone ahead to draw my shoulder line. From my shoulder line to my bust point is 10 inches. To my waistline or my half length is 16 inches. Then down to my hip is 26 inches. The length of this dress is going to be 38 inches, so I'll mark my point here. Then I'll go ahead and draw a straight line across my marked points. So I went ahead to label my bust line, waistline, hip line and my hem line, okay? Then the next thing to do here is to take our shoulder measurement. For this dress pattern, we are drafting for the front pattern, okay? So my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 8 inches, okay? So I'm going to make it 8.5 inch, which is here. Then from my shoulder point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch to mark for my shoulder slope, okay? And from my shoulder slope point, I'm going to come down by 8 inches to mark for my armhole length, which is this point here, okay? So I'm going to draw a straight line. And this line here will serve as my chest line. Okay, this line here will serve as my chest line. Then the next thing I'm going to do here is to take my neckline, front neckline width, okay? For my front neckline width, I'll be making use of 3.5 inch, okay, which is here. And for the length, remember that this dress neckline has a V neckline. I'm going to go down by 6 inches for my V neckline. Okay, I went down by 6 inches, so I'm going to connect it like this. Then I'll also connect for my shoulder slope. Then the next thing to do here is to take our armhole curve for the front pattern. So I'm going to divide my armhole length by 2. So the midpoint of my armhole is going to be 4 inches, which is this point here. So from my marked point, I'll be going in by 1 inch, okay, which is here. Then after that, I'm going to take my bust circumference at my chest line. My bust circumference of 35 inch divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8 inches, okay? So I'm going to mark my 8.8 inches at my chest line, which is this point here. Then I'm also going to add extra 2 inches, okay, which is this point here, okay? So I'm going to connect from my shoulder slope point to my midpoint, armhole midpoint, then down to my bust circumference point here, okay? Okay, this is it. Then the next thing to do here is to take our basic body measurement, okay? So to my bust line, my bust circumference of 35 inch divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8. I'll go ahead and mark my 8.8 inches here. Then add extra 2 inches, just the same way we add for the chest line, okay? I'll add 2 inches here. Then to my waistline, my waist circumference of 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5 inch. So I'm also going to mark 7.5 inch point here. Then add my 2 inch hemming allowance, okay? Then to my hip line, my hip circumference of 38 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5 inch, okay? So I'll mark my 9.5 inch point here. Then also add my hemming allowance of 2 inches, okay? Then I'll also take my hip circumference at my hemline here, okay? So what I have here the total point I have here is 11.5 inch. Okay, so I will retake my 11.5 inch at my hemline here. Okay, 11.5 inch. Okay, then I'll go ahead and connect all my marked points. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do here is at my side hem. Okay, my side hem body measurement here, I'm going to go up by, from my hemline here, I'm going to go up by 2.5 inch. Okay, to give it that curve shape, 2.5 inch, which is here. Okay, then I'm going to curve like this. Okay, so this is it for the front pattern. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead now and cut this out. Okay, so guys, after cutting, this is for the front pattern. Then let's go ahead and cut for the back pattern. Okay, for my back pattern, I went ahead to take my horizontal body measurement. Okay, just the same way we did for the front pattern. So guys, for my back pattern, I've gone ahead to draw my shoulder line. This is my bust line, waist line, hip line, and my hemline. Okay, then we are also going to take our shoulder measurement. Okay, just the same way we did for the front pattern. Okay, so I'm going to mark 8.5 inch for my shoulder line. Okay, then from my shoulder line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch to mark my shoulder slope, and from my shoulder slope point, I'm going to come down by 8 inches to mark for my armhole length. Okay, so this line here also serves as my chest line. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to take our neckline width for the back pattern. So I'm also going to use 3.5 inch for my neckline width for my back pattern. Then for the length, I'm going to use 1.5 inch. Okay, for my back pattern. Then I'll also go ahead and cut for my back pattern neckline. Then the next thing to do here is to mark for our armhole curve. Okay, so I'm going to take my bust circumference at my armhole, and my bust circumference of 35 inch divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8. Then I'll also go ahead and add my 2 inches hemming allowance here. Okay, so I'm going to curve for my armhole. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to take our basic body circumference. Okay, so my bust circumference of 35 inch divided by 4 is going to give me 8.8. I'll go ahead and mark my points, then also add my 2 inch hemming allowance. 2 inches hemming allowance. Then coming over to my waistline, my waist circumference of 30 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5 inch. So I'll also go ahead and mark add my 2 inches hemming allowance, which is here. Now to my hip circumference of 38 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5 inch. Okay, then I'll also go ahead and add my hemming allowance of 2 inches. Then to my hemline, okay, to my hemline, I'm also retake my hip circumference at my hemline. So I'll go ahead and mark 9.5 inch for my hip circumference, then add 2 inches to my hemming allowance, for my hemming allowance. Okay, then I will go ahead and connect all my marked points just the way you see me doing it here. So guys, this is for the back pattern. Okay, and also for the back pattern of this dress is going to be longer than the front pattern. Okay, the front dress pattern. Okay, and for the front dress pattern we used 38 inches for our length, dress length for the front pattern. Then for the back pattern I'm going to make it longer by 2 inches. The back pattern is going to be 2 inch longer or even more depending on what you want. Okay, so here on my pattern paper what I have here is 40 inches, so I'll be making use of the whole pattern paper length here. Okay, so while cutting on my fabric I can equally add some inches, okay, depending on the length I want my dress to be. Okay, so for the back pattern here I'm going to use the whole pattern paper length as my back pattern dress length. Okay, so that's the reason why I extended my side hemming line here down to my dress pattern paper. Okay, then the next thing to do here is to also create the curve shape, okay, at the back pattern. So from my 38 inch, from my hemming allowance here, I'm going to move up by 2.5 inch, okay, just the same way we marked for the front pattern. Okay, I'm going to connect it just like this. Okay, just the way we did for the front pattern. I'm going to curve it like this. Okay, also the back pattern is not going to have any zipper. Okay, it's not going to have any zipper, so I'm going to cut this out. So guys, after cutting, this is what we have for our back pattern. After that I went ahead to arrange my fabric, and on my fabric I added 2 inch for my folding on my hemming allowance. Then I cut it out just the way you see me doing it here in this video. So guys, after cutting for my front pattern, this is what I have. Then I went ahead to repeat the same step for my back pattern just the way you see me doing it here in this video. So guys, this is for the back pattern. Okay, to cut for my sleeve, okay, I'm gonna have to fold my fabric. Okay, and my fabric here on fold is about 10.5 inch. Okay, 10.5 inch. Then the hem of my fabric here will serve as my shoulder line for my sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to take my horizontal sleeve measurements. Okay, so from the hem, which will serve as my shoulder line of my sleeve, to my bicap of my sleeve is going to be 6 inches. Okay, still leaving my tape down to my elbow. Okay, my sleeve elbow is 14 inches, which is here, and down to my sleeve length. Okay, to my sleeve length is going to be 20 inches, but I'll be making it 20.5 inch. Okay, then the next thing to do here is I'm going to also take my bicap length. Okay, I'm going to mark 6 inches point here. Okay, then from my marked point I'm going to come down by 3 inches, which is here. Okay, then I'm going to connect from the edge of my fabric down to this point. I'm going to curve. Okay, like this. Okay, then the next thing to do here, I'm going to take my round sleeve circumference. Okay, my round sleeve circumference is 12 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 6 inches. But because this is a shirt sleeve, okay, because what we are cutting here is a shirt sleeve, I'm going to add extra 2 inches, making it 8 inches. Okay, which is this point here. Okay, so I'm also going to curve. Okay, at my sleeve length line, I'm going to take my round sleeve circumference, which is 8 inches, but I'm adding 1 inch, making it 9 inch. Okay, which is here. Then I'll also mark the same measurement at my elbow line here. Okay, which is here. So I'll go ahead from here. I'm going to connect it down. So guys, this is actually how to cut a basic sleeve. Then I'm going to go ahead now and cut this out. So guys, this is it for my sleeve. I also went ahead to cut out my interfacing for both the front and the back pattern. I'll go ahead and stitch up this part. Okay, also for my back pattern, I've also gone ahead to cut the interfacing for my back pattern, so I'll also go ahead and stitch up this part. Okay, the neckline part. So guys, I've gone ahead to fix my interfacing for the front and the back. You can see the back interface. Okay, and this is the front interface. I've gone ahead to fix it. Okay, and also my shoulder line. Can you see that? The shoulder line for both the front and the back pattern. Okay, then the next thing to do here is I'm going to fix my sleeve. So for my sleeve, this is what I have for my sleeve. I've gone ahead to attach my sleeve cape. Okay, this is for the both sleeve. Okay, then the next thing to do here is I will be fixing my sleeve. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to measure my shoulder line to know if they are equal. So what I have here is 5 inches. Okay, my shoulder line at this side is 5 inches. So this side, what I also have here is 5 inches. Okay, so to fix my sleeve, I'm going to spread it out like this. Then I'm going to find or notch the center of my sleeve. So the notched part is my center of my sleeve, is the center of my sleeve. So I'm going to attach it this way. The notched part or the center part will be at the hemmed shoulder part. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? Then I'm going to use my pins to pin along. Okay, so guys, after pinning up, I'll go ahead and stitch up this part. Okay, then trim out the excess. Okay, so this is what I'm going to have for my sleeve. Okay, so I'll fix the other side off camera. Okay, then I will use 1.5 inch to hem my side seam. Finally guys, this is my end result. You can see how neat and beautiful my dress turned out to be. Okay, do well to hit on the subscription button, subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share with your friends. Okay, and if you have any questions regarding to this video tutorial, drop it on the comment section. I'll be there to attend to you. Okay, see you on my next video tutorial. Bye.